The show opened with a mixed tag match that immediately raised questions. Shawn Spears was absent, leaving Lizzie Rain to compete without her scheduled partner. EK Prosper stepped in as the replacement, and the pairing of Rain and Prosper secured the win. Following the match, EK Prosper delivered a promo that commentary highlighted as a turning point for his positioning on the roster. His absence carries weight given the ongoing storyline involving the Culling, Nico Vance, and Dane, all of whom have been connected to Spears in recent weeks. Two possibilities remain on the table. The absence could be a scripted plot point set up for an explanation next week, or it could point to something outside the storyline entirely. As of this recap, NXT has not addressed the reason on screen, leaving the situation open heading into next week's episode. Robert Stone delivered an in-ring update by phone with Rey Mysterio. The call confirmed that Rey Fenix will defend the AAA Cruiserweight Championship on NXT in 2 weeks. Before that title match happens, a number 1 contenders fatal 4-way was announced for next week, featuring EK Prosper, Lo Parker, Romeo Moreno, and Tristan Angels. Among the 4, Tristan Angel stands out based on his current momentum on the show, positioning him as a leading candidate to advance into the title picture. Dion Lennox faced Saquon Sugars in a singles match that ended with Dark State interference, giving Lennox the win. Commentary stated directly that the finish does not close out the feud between the two competitors. For the rivalry to reach a natural conclusion, Saquon Sugars needs a decisive win over Dark State without outside help, since every prior encounter between the parties has ended with interference deciding the outcome rather than in-ring competition. The women's division saw significant movement. Both Callie Armstrong and Connie Jordan have been positioning themselves for a number 1 contender opportunity. Kendall Gray was ruled out of contention due to an injury sustained during last week's Underground match, and her spot was handed to Connie Jordan. As a result, Connie Jordan will face Kendall Gray at NXT Heatwave, despite Gray's current injury status. Following this announcement, Callie Armstrong attempted an attack on Gray but struck her in the already injured ear instead. The segment closed with Keela Nee and Callie Armstrong standing over both Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair. Given the numbers disadvantage shown in that closing image, a tag team match involving these 4 competitors is a likely addition to the card before NXT Heatwave. Backstage, Grayson Waller addressed Saquon Sugars, referencing Sugars' YMCA hoodie, a nod to Waller's earlier comments directed at TNA. Waller also confirmed his own match for the show, a main event bout against Cruz Montana, formerly known as Mike Santana. Saquon Sugars left the segment carrying a baseball bat and later used it to attack Dion Lennox during the following match between Ren Sinclair and Zaria. That attack directly affected the outcome of the Ren Sinclair vs. Zaria match for the Women's North American Championship. The chaos caused by the Sugars-Lennox confrontation served as a distraction that cost Sinclair the match, allowing Zaria to retain the title. The finish protects Ren Sinclair from a clean loss while setting up a future unification match between the Women's North American Championship and the Women's Speed Championship. Based on her current title reign and booking trajectory, Zaria is positioned to win that unification match as well. The tag team division also advanced. Jackson Drake was granted an opportunity where a win would earn the Vanity Project a rematch for the tag team titles, along with a North American Championship opportunity for Drake himself. His opponent was revealed to be Shiloh Hill. According to the update given during the broadcast, Shiloh Hill is recovering from broken bones at a faster rate than initially projected. He has already competed at NXT live events while wearing a mask to conceal his identity, and he is expected to continue wrestling masked into next week's show. NXT currently lacks a women's tag team championship. The brand has produced several strong women's tag teams in recent months, yet none of them have a title to compete for at the moment. A championship would create direct competitive stakes among these teams, and increased competition around a title typically drives roster growth in that division. Expansion at the developmental level has historically fed talent and depth into the main roster's women's tag division over time. The mid-card produced 2 notable results. Cam Hendris defeated Mason Rook in a match that ran counter to the build Rook received heading into his debut, which included significant pre-match fanfare. Some fan commentary online focused on Rook's appearance following the loss. Given the resources committed to his introduction, a larger push remains a reasonable expectation for Mason Rook going forward. Separately, Lucian Price defeated Lexis King in a singles match contested without Bronco at ringside. The absence suggests a possible split within OTM, with Bronco potentially aligning with Los Ferros Dom in upcoming storylines. A move toward a singles push would mark a new direction for Lucian Price as an individual competitor rather than part of a trio. Robert Stone's phone calls have become a recurring element of recent broadcasts, following an unresolved free agent tease introduced last week. The identity and purpose behind these calls remain unaddressed on screen as of this episode. The show's headline development came in the main event, confirming pre-show reports of a new signing for WWE. ZILLA FATU arrived during the main event segment, which ended without a winner declared. The competitors involved in that match are presumably being positioned for further storyline development connected to Fatu's arrival. Based on the manner of his debut and the direction of the angle, ZILLA FATU appears set for a program built around the NXT World Championship rather than an immediate move to the main roster. Commentary and structure across the episode pointed toward next week's show as a key follow-up point, given two unresolved threads: the explanation behind Shawn Spears' absence and the possibility that Robert Stone's ongoing phone calls were connected to ZILLA FATU all along. Rating this episode based on its build and forward momentum across multiple storylines, 8 out of 10.